Hi, English students. This is it. You have made it to the very end of the Odyssey. We are in part two, and this section is called Penelope's Test. Before we read it, I want you to know that in the previous scene that was very bloody and very violent, all of that was hidden from Penelope's eyes. We need to recall that she is up in her bedroom. She has the doors locked. She does not know what's going on. And Odysseus, once he has killed all of these suitors, he insists that the people of the house clean up all of the dead bodies, scrub everything clean, and he get himself completely cleaned up before he goes to see his wife for the first time in 20 years. Remember that she does not know that the old beggar was him. So when he shows up, here he is. He is looking older, but Athena's going to make him look like he's glowing and beautiful, like he's an Adonis. He's going to look suntanned. His hair is going to be dark. He won't have any gray beard. He's going to look strong, all the things that Athena can do to make him look godly. But his wife is going to see this man, and she is not going to trust that he is who he claims to be. And she's going to present a little bit of a test. And this would be like if you have an inside bit of information with someone that only you know about and that person, she's going to test him on his knowledge. What she's going to test him about is a bed. What everyone needs to know is that long ago, when Odysseus made his palace, he built the palace around a single tree that became the center of his bedroom, and he built the palace all around it. And from the tree, in Penelope's bedroom, he used the tree to create a bed. But no one is allowed to really be in there. It's very private. So no one knows what this looks like. So she's going to use that as part of her test. What does this strange person know and what doesn't he know? So let's read the very last section. Penelope tests Odysseus to prove that he really is her husband. Great-hearted Odysseus, home at last, was being bathed now by Eurynome, and rubbed with golden oil, and clothed again in a fresh tunic and a cloak. Athena lent him beauty from head to foot, and she made him taller and massive too, with crisping hair in curls like petals of wild hyacinth. So that's a simile, right? All red golden, so he has no gray. Think of gold infused on silver by a craftsman whose fine art Hephaestus taught him, or Athena, one whose work moves to delight. Just so she lavished beauty over Odysseus's head and shoulders. So that is another one of those epic similes where his hair is like gold infused, right? He sat then in the same chair by the pillar, facing his silent wife because she's so confused. And he said, "Strange woman," that means she's acting distant. "The immortals of Olympus made you hard, harder than any. Who else in the world would keep aloof as you do from her husband if he returned to her from years of trouble, cast on his own land in the 20th year? Nurse, make up a bed for me to sleep on. Her heart is iron in her breast." But Penelope spoke to Odysseus now, and she said, "Strange man, if man you are, this is no pride on my part, nor scorn for you. Not even wonder merely. I know so well how you or how he appeared boarding the ship for Troy. So I remember what you looked like 20 years ago or what my husband looked like. But all the same," and she says, "Make up his bed for him, Euryclea. Place it outside the bedchamber that my lord built with his own hands. Pile the big bed with fleeces, rugs, and sheets of purest linen." But with this, she tried him to the breaking point. She's testing him now. And he turned on her in a flash and he raged, "Woman, by heaven, you've stung me now. Who dared to move my bed?" No builder had the skill for that unless a god came down to turn the trick. No mortal in his best days could budge it with a crowbar. Here's our pact and our pledge, our secret sign that we built that bed. It's my handiwork and no one else's. An old trunk of olive grew like a pillar on the building plot, and I laid out our bedroom around that tree. I lined up the stone walls, and I built the walls and the roof, and I gave it a doorway and smooth fitting doors. So he's telling all that he knows about the bedroom. And then I lopped off the silvery leaves and branches and hewed and shaped the stump from the roots up into a bedpost and drilled it. And I let it serve as a model for the rest. And I planed them all and I inlaid them with silver, gold, and ivory. And I stretched a bed in between the branches, a pliant web of oxhide thongs and dried crimson. There's our sign. I know no more. Could someone else's hand have sawn that trunk and dragged the frame away? And that was their secret. As she heard it, her knees grew tremulous and weak. Her heart failed her. With eyes brimming tears, she ran to him, throwing her arms around his neck, and she kissed him, murmuring, "Do not rage at me, Odysseus. No one has ever matched your caution, so you've always been very careful. Think what difficulty the gods gave. They denied us life together in our prime and flowering years. They kept us from crossing into age together. Forgive me, don't be angry. I couldn't welcome you with love on sight. I armed myself long ago against the frauds of men, impostors who might come, and all those many whose underhanded ways bring evil on. But here and now, what sign could be so clear as this of our own bed? So you knew about our bed. This is truly you, right? No other man has ever laid eyes on it, not even my own slave actress that my father sent me as a gift. She kept our door, and you make my stiff heart know that I am yours. And now from his breast into his eyes, so his heart is the ache of longing mounted, and he wept at last, and his dear wife, clear and faithful in his arms, longed for as the sun warmed earth is longed for by a swimmer. Isn't that a beautiful simile? If you're a cold swimmer in the ocean and you want to get out and be on the warm beach, it's like the warm arms of their love. It says, spent in rough water where his ship went down, under Poseidon's blows, gale winds, and tons of sea. Few men can keep alive through a big surf, to crawl, clotted with brine, on kindly beaches. Enjoy, enjoy, knowing the abyss, the ocean depths are behind. And so she too rejoiced, her gaze upon her husband, her white arms around him, pressed as though forever. And it says, the ending. Odysseus is united with his father. Athena commands that peace prevail between Odysseus and the relatives of the slain suitors, and Odysseus has regained his family and his kingdom. And with that, guys, that is the very end of the Odyssey. I hope you've loved it as much as I have. It's a tale of the ages. It's an epic by Homer that no one could ever duplicate. We have seen people try, but they simply can't do it. This is a tale for the ages. So that is the end of the Odyssey, my friends, and I will see you very soon.